If you've ever tried to create an AI video yourself, you know it's not as easy as it seems, but that's because you are using the wrong tools. You see, most AI generators out there are extremely complicated for a beginner, and I know that because I've been creating AI content for the last 3 years. So today, I'm going to walk you through the 3 easiest ways you can actually create high-quality videos as a complete beginner. The first one is also the simplest, and all you really need for it is to write a simple 3-line prompt. So let's actually go ahead and test it out. For this, we're going to be using the most powerful AI video model out there called Seedance 2.0, and to access it, I'm going to be using OpenArt, which is an all-in-one platform. So if you want to use it, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can sign up. Alright, so once you're inside, this is the homepage you'll see. There are a lot of AI features here, but what we really want right now is to go to the video section and press on text to video. Here, we can choose from all the popular AI models, but for this example, I'm going with Seedance 2.0. Now all I need to do is write a simple prompt inside this box. So here's what I'll say. Next, I'll make sure the audio is turned on and select normal for the mode. As for the other settings, I'll set the aspect ratio to 16:9, 1080p for the resolution, and 15 seconds for the duration. Then I'll just hit generate and wait a few moments for the result. Now let's take a look at what we got. Well, this came out looking really good. I like how smooth every movement feels and the way he stirs those noodles. But what's actually impressive is when he throws them in the air and all of those flames come out in a cinematic way. And one more detail that I like is the blurred background where you can see people moving. This gives it an added note of realism. But even though the results are solid, this method alone won't give you much control over the outcome. So let's take a look at the second way to create AI videos. Now this is built on a method called image to video, but the concept behind it is really simple. We're going to create an image that we'll give to the AI, which it then uses as the starting frame for the video we want. This way, we know exactly what details we'll have inside the video before we actually generate it, which means if there's anything we don't like, we can edit it before generating. So let's head over to the image section inside OpenArt, and for the model, I'm going with GPT Image 2. Next, before I write the prompt, I'll change the settings to have the aspect ratio at 16:9, the resolution at 4K, and quality on high. Then I describe the same straightforward scene and generate it. Here's what we get back. I think it really nailed it. The first thing I notice is how high quality this image is. It looks like one of those premium ads for Asian food. And the guy looks really natural too. There's no AI glow on his face, and you can see real imperfections in his hair and beard. That used to be a big problem with AI people, but GPT Image 2 handled it perfectly here. I could use this as my starting frame, but I want to show you how easy it is to actually change it. Let's remove the previous prompt and add this one. I'll keep all the settings the same and press generate. As you can see, we completely changed the character. It's a woman now, and we even got a completely different language in the background. I don't know how to read it, but I can tell you for sure that this looks super clean. Now let me show you how I can simply create another variation of this. This time, a man working in the daytime, cooking the same noodles. Here's the prompt I'll use, and here's the result we get back. Again, the concept is the same, but we change the environment as well as the character, and you can do this for literally any detail you want. You just need to rewrite the prompt in simple terms and regenerate. Plus, you don't have to worry about writing complex and extremely long prompts, because GPT Image 2 is really good at understanding natural language. Now what I'll do is choose one of these 3 generations, and I think I like the first one the most. So I'll take that and go to the video section one more time. I'll select Seedance 2.0 as the model and change the mode from text with reference to start and end frame. Like I said, we're going to use the image we picked as the starting frame, so let's upload it. I'll write a simple prompt that describes what I want to happen, so here's what I'll say. Again, for the settings, I'll go with 16:9 for the ratio, 1080p for the resolution, and I want it to be a 15-second video. Now let's take a look at the result. As you can see, it started exactly with our image, and it kept the character and all the details around it consistent from start to finish. Now again, this looks extremely realistic, but one thing that's really impressing me is how those fire flares change the lighting on our character's face. So this shows one more time how good Seedance is at understanding reality. Now this image to video method gives you a lot of control over the final result, but if you want to create a full scene without creating all the reference images yourself, you'd want to use the third method. And to access it, we're going to be using using one of the newest AI features inside OpenArt called Smart Shot. And what this does is turn one single prompt into a full shot plan, which can then be turned into a full movie scene. So inside OpenArt, I'll go back to the home page and look for the Smart Shot feature. I'll press on it, and this is the interface we'll get. As you can see, we have a few more settings. The first one is the usual prompt box. Then we have the references, but these are optional. Here, you can add your environment or your characters and objects, depending on what you want to use inside your video. So to make this example as realistic as possible, I'm actually going to add my own character. And for this, I'll press on characters and objects and go with image, where I'll upload this character sheet I built using GPT Image 2. And the way I did it was pretty easy. I just took a quick selfie of myself. Then I asked the AI to turn it into a panel showing my face from a few different angles, even zooming in on parts like my mouth and ears. And the reason I did that instead of just uploading the selfie is that the more angles the AI sees of me, the better it understands the character, so I get no consistency problems later. And honestly, that's what I do every single time I make a longer AI video. So let's add the character sheet, and now all that's left is to add a prompt, and this is what I'll say. Next, for the settings, I'll go with the sheet quality at high for the best results. And for the output, I'll leave it on 16:9 for the aspect ratio, go with 1080p for the resolution, and 15 seconds. Now I can create the final video with just one click. But what I usually do to get the most control out of it is to press on Preview Shot Plan. This will give me the exact strategy for it, so let's do that. And here's what we get. As you can see, we get this insanely detailed plan with 5 different sections. The first one is all about my character. We get the name, the physical details, the photos of me from different angles, and even a color palette that's used to match my character to the mood of the whole video. Next, for the second section, we get the environment. On the left side, there's a real image of how it would look, but what's more interesting is the picture on the right, which lays out the exact plan for how the action is going to happen, starting at number 1, then moving to 2, 3, and so on. And honestly, that's a level of detail I wouldn't even think to plan myself. Then, for the third section, we get all the different cuts and shots from the scene. And if we zoom in a little bit on the first one, you can see we don't just get a photo of how it'll look. We also get details like the lens being used, in this case, a 32mm anamorphic, the duration, which here is 4 seconds, and then the prompt for what happens in that shot. And the same goes for all 5 shots. Then, for the fourth section at the bottom, we get the lighting and the mood, which are really important for making the scene feel cinematic. And on the right side, there are some cinematography notes, plus the color palette for the whole video. And honestly, if I had to put this plan together myself, it would probably take me at least 30 minutes, even though I've been shooting videos for years at this point. So a feature like this saves you a ton of time. That said, there are a few small things it can sometimes miss. For example, here we've got 2 different characters in the scene, but we only get a reference for my character at the top. The good thing is, Smart Shot lets us fix this before we create the video, which is really useful because I'm not spending a ton of credits regenerating until I get what I want. So let's press the edit button and paste this prompt. And now let's take a look to see if it added it. There's the second character reference on the right side, so it includes a color palette, a few pictures of him, and the details. So now I'll press create video and let's take a look at the final result. I'm honestly really impressed with the quality of this, especially when I think it took me less than 3 minutes to make. The characters stay consistent throughout the entire video. The motion is really clear, and I really like the emotional tension inside the scene, especially when I finally catch the guy. So this Smart Shot feature isn't just saving you hours of prompting, but it also gives you the best results from just one simple prompt. So if you want to test it yourself, as well as the other methods you've learned today, go sign up to OpenArt using the link in the description below. And if you want access to some of the best AI image and video models in one place, now's a great time to upgrade. If you upgrade to advanced or above before July 31st, you'll get up to 40% off participating models for the rest of 2026. So sign up with the link in my description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.